Israel Adesanya.
28-0!
The McGregor
Talking about a guy who is
Francis Ngannou.
It's another UFC full card breakdown and predictions, man. We're doing another one. Let's go. Hey, before we get into the predictions and all of that stuff, massive shout out to Derek Brunson. This dude has cashed as an underdog 4 times in a row. And I've gone against him like nearly every time. I went with Derek Brunson against Elias Theodorou, but like everyone did, you know? Went against Derek Brunson with Ian Heinisch, Edmund Shabazian and Darren Till, so yeah, massive shout out to Derek Brunson, man, getting it done at 37 years old. And you know, man, credit works both ways, right? When you're wrong, you give out credit. When you're right, hey, it looks like Paddy Pimblett. Even though a TKO, man, I was not expecting that. That was crazy. But yeah, guys, make sure you Hamzat smash the like button. Alright, let's jump into it. Guys, there's no way I'm breaking down this matchup without sparking up. There's no way. Alright, we got Emily Whitmire taking on Hannah Goldy. My goodness. So, Emily Whitmire, man, not the best female mixed martial artist. Hannah Goldy, you know, the same. Not the best female mixed martial artist. If you're looking at what Emily Whitmire has done well in the UFC, she got that quick win against Alexandra Albu with the rear naked choke. She also used some nice teeps against Jamie Moyle, the wrestler, was able to keep her at a distance. But when you're looking at where Emily Whitmire hasn't had good performances, all 3 of her losses are by submission. Gillian Robertson is a BJJ practitioner, Amanda Ribas and Pollyanna Viana. All 3 of these girls like jiu-jitsu and they subbed Emily Whitmire. Now Hannah Goldy isn't exactly a jiu-jitsu specialist. This girl likes to kickbox. I picked against her with Diana Belbita. You know, you look at Hannah Goldy's frame, man. She's got the big biceps. You know, she's got the big muscled up physique. But that physique, man, like I said in the last breakdown for Hannah Goldy, it's not a great physique for fighting. If you get tired outside of round 1, yeah, that muscle's not going to do much. Having said that, guys, if Hannah Goldy's going to get a win inside the UFC, it's going to be against Emily Whitmire. And if Emily Whitmire's going to stop the losing streak, it's probably going to be against Hannah Goldy. So yeah, man, make your pick if you dare. I'm going to side with Emily Whitmire, which is, you know, I can't even believe I'm saying that out loud. If she can keep the fight at a distance against Hannah Goldy, or just try to take over with teeps and jabs, maybe even grapple, you know, maybe she does out grapple Hannah Goldy. I'm just liking the Emily Whitmire side a little bit more. Not a lot more, you know, it's a pick'em in my eyes. So yeah, I'll go Emily Whitmire, most likely a decision. My numbers, I'd put Emily minus 130, Hannah Goldy plus 100. And that's pretty much what you've got. You've got Emily Whitmire minus 120, Hannah Goldy plus 100. Yeah, it's a pick'em. Whoever shows up on the night, man, that's going to be the winner. I'm going to go with Emily Whitmire, and I'm not confident. Alright, we've got Gustavo Lopez taking on Heili Alateng. Now this matchup is, again, like the first fight, it's a close one, man. 50-50, really. Gustavo Lopez debuted against Merab, which, you know, he lost that fight. He lost every round. But he did show like a good pace, a work ethic. He was outclassed, but when you see how hard he's working, admirable. Then he got a nice submission win against Anthony Burchak, which pretty much was expected. Maybe not a submission win, but you would favour Gustavo Lopez to use his wrestling against Anthony Burchak. And if the fight wasn't on the mat, you'd probably favour Gustavo to use the striking. He did win that one. Now against Adrian Yanez, what can I say? Adrian Yanez just showing that counter-punching ability. He literally spun Gustavo's jaw. He spun his jaw clean. It was a beautiful punch. So yeah, Gustavo 1 win, 2 losses. Hasn't done too bad. Now Heili Alateng debuted against Dinar Bakirul. Had a close fight. It was a close fight until the 3rd round, and that's when Heili Alateng chose to use his wrestling. Now for those of you that don't know, Heili Alateng is one of the best wrestlers coming out of China. Now China isn't exactly known for their wrestling, right? It's more of an American thing, the wrestling. But still, you know, your top 5 in China for wrestling is still impressive. Heili Alateng may be the one who's landing the bigger shots in this fight, but Gustavo Lopez may push a pace. So yeah, that's why it's again a 50-50 in my opinion. It's really whoever shows up on the night. I'm gonna side with the Mongolian knight Heili Alateng, just to land the cleaner punches. If Gustavo Lopez can prove me wrong, get the takedowns over and over, higher output, a stronger pace, massive credit. But I'm going to side with Heili Alateng to do more damage. So I'll go a decision, because Gustavo Lopez, man, pretty tough. My numbers, I'd price Heili around the same as the first fight. I'd put Heili minus 130, Gustavo plus 100. And we've got both of these guys minus 110. So again, the bookie's just saying, hey, pick a side if you dare. And I might on that one. I might pick a side with the betting. Yeah, I'm sparking up for this one. And the reason why I'm sparking up, man, the UFC has done a good job here. This is great matchmaking. Got the torch as well, guys. Let's go. All right, we've got Impa Kasanganay taking on Carlston Harris. Now, Carlston Harris, as you can see by his record, way more fights than Impa Kasanganay. Carlston Harris has 20 pro fights. Impa Kasanganay has 10. Carlston Harris had a pretty good UFC debut. Basically displayed his jiu-jitsu. And that's really what Carlston Harris likes to do. His jiu-jitsu is by far the standout of his game. If he can take you to the mat, you're in some trouble. Now you see Impa Kasanganay getting a submission against Sasha Palatnikov. That was a nice moment. You know, he's showing his well-roundedness on the mat. Prior to that win, you think of Impa Kasanganay as almost like a mini Usman, in my opinion. You know, the only thing that this guy has done wrong is hold a foot for a second longer than he should have. You know, Buckley got one of the best knockouts in UFC history. And it's simply because Impa held the foot for a second longer. And it also comes down to Buckley being crazy, even attempting that, you know. But yeah, I've been quite impressed with Impa Kasanganay. He's got a nice jab. He's strong in the clinch. He'll push you against the fence. He'll go for takedowns. For a guy who's only had 10 pro fights, yeah, I'm putting Impa Kasanganay up there. If Carlston Harris can bring Impa to the mat, then yeah, absolutely I'm favouring Carlston Harris. His jiu-jitsu is elite, right? But if Impa Kasanganay on the flip side can avoid the mat, if he can stay on the feet, I'm much favouring Impa Kasanganay. So again, guys, it comes down to whoever shows up and implements their style, implements their tactic, that's going to be the winner. I'm going to side with the guy I've not picked against, and that's both of them, actually. I'm going to take Impa Kasanganay in this one. I prefer to side with Impa keeping the fight standing rather than Carlston Harris having success taking the fight to the mat. I'm not saying that Carlston Harris can't do that. He is going to try and implement that style. But I just prefer Impa Kasanganay a little bit more. My numbers, guys, I'm going to put Impa around minus 160. Carlston Harris plus 130. And we've got Impa Kasanganay minus 130. Carlston Harris plus 110. So a lot of people are liking the jiu-jitsu of Carlston Harris. You know, if he can take it to the mat, he's got a really good chance. It's a tale of two sides, man. I'm going to side with Impa on this one. Alright, we've got Erin Blanchfield taking on Sarah Alpar. Now, Erin was supposed to debut against Norma Dumont. I think this matchup is way better than her original matchup. Way, way better. That's not to say that she couldn't have done well against Norma, but I just know that she's going to do well against Sarah Alpar. I can nearly assure it. And that's because Sarah Alpar, man, I'm not too sure how highly I regard this girl. You know, she got badly beaten up by Jessica Rose Clark. And Jessica Rose Clark has fought some good competition. She's pretty nasty. But man, Sarah Alpar, man, not a lot to offer. I like what she done on the Contender series. You know, I took her on the Contender. She was an underdog too, I think. Yeah, slight underdog. But I just feel more comfortable taking Erin Blanchfield. I know it's her UFC debut, and you've got to be careful taking the debutantes. But against Sarah Alpar, man, she should be winning this one. Whether Erin Blanchfield chooses to grapple or chooses to stand, she should get past Sarah Alpar. And if she doesn't, you know, there's not many here that you're going to get past. Maybe a little bit harsh on the breakdown against Sarah Alpar, but yeah, the debut, man, she got opened up. She got opened up badly, man. My numbers, again, maybe a little bit harsh, but I think Erin Blanchfield minus 250, even minus 3. And you've got Erin Blanchfield minus 275 up to minus 3. Yeah. That line doesn't exactly resemble how good Erin Blanchfield is. It maybe resembles Sarah Alpar not being ready for the highest level. So yeah, I'll side with the newcomer, Erin Blanchfield. Alright guys, we've got Montel Jackson taking on JP Buys. Kinda feel bad for JP, man. Kinda feel bad. It's a bit of a nightmare matchup, if I'm being completely honest. You know, if he can prove me wrong and show me it's not a nightmare matchup, then amen. You know, credit to the guy. But the reason I believe this is a nightmare matchup, you know, in his debut, he kind of got, you know, battered, really. You know, I'm trying to find the word to be nice. It just didn't look good. It didn't look good in round 1. Bruno Silva arguably having the most success he's ever had with his hands. And that was at 125. You know, JP Buys tried to come into the UFC at flyweight. And now he's back at bantamweight, which is where he's spent most of his career. Actually, now that I'm looking at his record, he has spent time at flyweight and time at bantamweight. But man, when you're going up against Montel Jackson, a guy that has the grip of Francis Ngannou, hands the size of Francis Ngannou, a man that was training for the Olympics with the wrestling before he even got into mixed martial arts, a guy that can now choke you out, hit you with a jab from a distance, who's even looking better and better at fighting from a distance. Yeah, I believe it's a nightmare matchup for JP Buys. Ways that JP Buys is going to win, you know, he has to get on the inside and land like a overhand or something crazy. Just a crazy moment where he stops Montel Jackson. If he's not going to do that, I literally cannot see him winning. You know, is he going to take down Montel? Probably not. The guy getting takedowns in this matchup is going to be Montel Jackson, if he chooses to do so. Which he probably won't, to be honest. He might just stand and trade and look for that TKO. Yeah, I'm going to side with Montel Jackson. Most likely inside the distance. My numbers, I think I'd have to go Muradov style, you know. I'd go around minus 350. I know Muradov closed at like minus 7, but he did open around that price. And the numbers on this one, we've got Montel Jackson minus 500. So even the bookies are like, yo, if you're trying to make money on Montel, we're going to make it difficult. And if you want to put money on JP Buys and try and make some money on a plus 400, hey, again, it's difficult because he's in there with Montel Jackson. So either way, the bookies are the winners. I believe the winner's also going to be Montel Jackson. Now, do you want to put 5 units on for a unit back? Probably not, bro. Probably not. And that's just because, you know, you don't have to overextend yourself like that. They want you to. But yeah, if you're going to bet on Montel, maybe look for inside the distance, which is going to be a better price. Alright, we've got Dakota Bush taking on Zhu Rong. Low-key decent matchup, difficult to predict. Now, Dakota Bush was pretty much outclassed in his UFC debut. Zhu Rong shares that too. You know, he was outclassed in his UFC debut. There is a big experience difference. You know, Zhu Rong has 21 pro fights, and this guy's 21 years old. I believe Zhu Rong is actually the youngest fighter on the UFC roster. I know if most of us got asked that question, we would originally think, yeah, Song Yadong, that's the guy who's the youngest. But it's actually not that Chinese fighter anymore. It's Zhu Rong. 21 pro fights at 21 years old. So yeah, there is a big experience difference for Zhu Rong. Now we can see by the UFC debut he struggled with the grappling. You know, he struggled there. Dakota Bush is going to come with those takedowns. He's looking to take down Zhu Rong. If he can secure those takedowns, even sit in half guard or even in full guard, he's going to beat Zhu Rong purely on being able to keep him on the mat. But if Zhu Rong can correct the issue from the UFC debut, if he can stay striking more or even use a good get-up game to get back to the striking, yeah, Zhu Rong may just bag this one. It's a really decent matchup. I'm going to side with the Chinese fighter, even though I'm aware that Dakota Bush is going to make this one difficult. And Dakota Bush might do it, man. He might do it. It's a tricky one to predict. But I believe the experience of Zhu Rong, even at 21 years old, it might play into this matchup. So yeah, I'll take Zhu Rong, most likely a decision. My numbers, I'd put Zhu Rong minus 130, Dakota Bush plus 100. And we've got Zhu Rong plus 100, Dakota Bush minus 120. That's interesting. That's interesting, man. So more people are favouring Zhu Rong being stuck on his back again. Dakota Bush is going to try to do that. But I'm going to say the Chinese fighter with the experience doesn't get stuck on his back. But yeah, decent matchup. Good matchmaking from the UFC, man. Alright guys, we've got Nate Maness taking on Tony Gravely. Hey guys, I'm not going to lie. It is like 2 AM in the morning here as I'm recording this. Hey, I know some of you guys get super baked at midnight. You know, like midnight, 1 AM, 2 AM. And you've just got to go get that food, man. You have to go get that food when you're baked. In America, you're going to the cookout, you know. But yeah, we got Nate Maness taking on Tony Gravely. Now this one, man, you got to be quite confident or try to be careful. You look at Nate Maness, he done a nice job against Johnny Munoz. And then he done an even better job against Luke Sanders, you know, knocked down Luke Sanders, even finished that fight with a submission. Tony Gravely was beaten in his UFC debut by Brett Johns, but Brett Johns is quite a tough-nosed guy, you know, he can grapple. Then Tony Gravely beat De Freitas, which I wasn't impressed with his performance, to be honest. GSP. But yeah, Tony Gravely was shooting constantly, telegraphing the shot, really sloppy takedown entries. Now against Anthony Burchak, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you're betting on Tony Gravely, that's what you want. So yeah, two guys who have done pretty well in the UFC. Nate Maness 2-0, Tony Gravely 2 wins, 1 loss in the UFC. I'm gonna side with Tony Gravely to use his wrestling. But man, Nate Maness, yeah, I wouldn't lay any serious money, or I wouldn't put Tony Gravely in a bunch of parlays. But if you put a gun to my head and say, yo, pick the winner, I'm gonna pick Tony Gravely. My numbers, I'd put Tony Gravely around minus 150. Nate Maness coming back plus 120. And the actual numbers, what we got? We've got Tony Gravely touching minus 2. Yeah, not sure about that one, guys. I'm not sure about that one. Nate Maness plus 160, plus 170. Yeah. No bet on Tony Gravely for me. I think the line is a little bit off. But if gambling didn't exist, my prediction is still Tony Gravely. Alright guys, moving into Pannie Kianzad taking on Raquel Pennington. Man, another matchup that's pretty 50-50 and you need some confidence if you're going to lay money on this one. For me personally, I can see Pannie winning, I can see Raquel winning. But obviously, as we know, only one girl can win on the night. Now Pannie Kianzad, man, she lost to Julia Avila, she lost to Macy Chiazon. Both of these girls done well to grapple against Pannie Kianzad. But you look at Pannie against Jessica Rose Clark, Beth, Sajara Eubanks and Alexis Davis. You can see the skill that Pannie possesses. You know, her boxing is pretty decent. Her grappling, even though she has been out-grappled, she can wrestle. If you try to push Pannie up against the fence, she's going to compete in that matchup too. You know, you look at Sajara Eubanks who came out in round 2. Tried to grapple Pannie and it just backfired. And that's mainly because Sajara Eubanks doesn't have good cardio. But you still have to give a lot of credit to Pannie. You know, arguably lost round 1, but a complete turnaround in round 2. Now Raquel Pennington does have more experience in the UFC. Her boxing is pretty good too. She'll get close, throw the low kick. The one area that I'm kinda concerned for Pannie Kianzad, if Raquel Pennington chooses to big sister her, right? Just give her that big sister treatment. And the big sister treatment is exactly the same as the big brother treatment, right? You show that, hey, you're the little sis, I'm the big sis. And you grab a hold of her and you just kind of manhandle her, right? Yeah, I kind of believe that Raquel Pennington is going to choose to do that, you know, just big sister approach. And if she does, it's really a 50-50. Because if you doubt Raquel Pennington and she just shows you, hey, look, I've got strength for days. I'm going to do this round in, round out. You know, you might be disappointed to put money on Pannie. But if Pannie can break away from the clinch and get back to the boxing, yeah, you may be happy to put money on Pannie, right? Ultimately, guys, I think this one most likely is going to be priced pretty close, and there's a reason for it. Raquel can win if she shows up. Pannie can win if she shows up. I'm going to side with the fresher fighter. I'm going to side with Pannie Kianzad. Yeah, Pannie has to avoid the grappling. If Raquel Pennington chooses to push her up against the fence, that's where Pannie has to show some urgency to break away from that position. And if she can, then her chance is much better. So yeah, I'll side with Pannie Kianzad, most likely a decision. My numbers, I'm going to keep them real close, guys. I'll go -120 on Pannie Kianzad, +110 on Raquel. And we've got Raquel Pennington, -130, -140. Yeah, disagree. But like I said, if she grapples her and she gives her that big sister treatment and it's successful, then -140 is pretty good. So yeah, man, it always comes down to how confident you are. I'm not super confident, but I'm still going to side with Pannie Kianzad. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Right before the smoke break, I'm going to spark up for this one. We've got Tafon Nchukwi taking on Mike Rodriguez. Now is not the time. Alright guys, Tafon Nchukwi and Mike Rodriguez, here we go. So let me tell you guys straight off the bat how I think this one's going to play out. Round 1 is going to be the best round for Tafon. Round 2 and round 3, these are going to be the best rounds for Mike Rodriguez. Now the reason for that, if you look at Tafon Nchukwi against Jun Park, the cardio is not great. The takedown defense isn't great. If you can survive round 1 or even grapple in round 1, you can beat Tafon Nchukwi. Now the only problem with that, Mike Rodriguez, man. If you're putting money on Mike Rodriguez, of course, good luck, right? He beat Marcin Prachnio, which is maybe one of his best wins. But other than that, it's hard to look at Mike Rodriguez and want to lay money, man. I've just got to be honest. You know, he got worked over by John Allen, who was on steroids, but he did get worked over. He got put out by Jung. He was beating Ed Hammam, but still found a way to lose, which he should have won because that fight should have been stopped. And then he, you know, against Danilo Marquez. Oh my goodness, how disappointing. And man, I don't want to be negative towards Mike Rodriguez. I want to speak about the positive things that he can do. And that's, you know, when he finds a home for the right hand, the left hand, it looks okay. But the problem is that the right hand doesn't land anywhere near enough. Right? His back is kind of up against the wall, so maybe he comes out and shows a lot of improvements in his game. But, man, I'd have to side with Tafon Nchukwi. And I did take Jun Park against Tafon as a nice underdog. I don't think Mike Rodriguez can do the same thing. I don't think he can take down Tafon. which means I now have to imagine both of these guys trading kick for kick, punch for punch. And 9 times out of 10 when I picture that, I see Tafon laying Mike Rodriguez out. That's what I see. So yeah, man, I'm going to go with Tafon and Nchukwi. Round 1 TKO, maybe round 2. Now, if this matchup leaves round 1, if there's no stoppage in round 1, man, it's really Mike's fight to win. It's really Mike's fight to win, man. But my prediction, I'm going to side with Tafon and Nchukwi TKO. My numbers, guys, I'd put Tafon and Nchukwi around -150. I'd like to go a little bit higher, but when you see the takedown defense and the cardio not that good, it's difficult to give him a bigger price. Only 6 pro fights, he's getting better, and hopefully he can show that in this one. Now the actual numbers, we've got Tafon -130, Mike Rodriguez +110. So yeah, they're keeping it close, man. They know round 1 is Tafon. Outside of round 1, you just gotta watch. You just gotta watch. But yeah, we'll see what happens on that one. Hey, my homies, man. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. If you waited to smoke with me, amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, double amen. If you're not a smoker, but you enjoy the smoke breaks, that's a triple amen, gang. Let's go. Hey, I hope you guys are doing well, doing blessed, having a good day, having a good week, man. Hope you guys are doing great. Guys, here's my Instagram, @UFCLay. My Patreon, if you want all of my bets, UFC GA. And shout out to everyone that's on my Patreon, man. We're gonna have a good card, guys. I can feel it. I can feel it, guys. Would have been like a clean sweep, pretty much. You know, if we got Darren Till on the last one, it would have been a clean sweep. But Derek Brunson, Blonde Brunson, he's a problem. But yeah, guys, the smoke break topic for this one, man. I'ma spark up, man, because this one is pretty deep, to be honest. And you know, with the smoke breaks, guys, not every smoke break is gonna be for you. And that's just me being honest, right? You know, you may tune in one week and think, man, this smoke break, high relation on what Lay is speaking about. And then you may tune in next week and be like, yeah, 0 relation on what Lay is speaking about. Some weeks the smoke break will relate to you and some weeks it won't. But this week, man, I just want to speak a little bit about life is short, man. You know, life is, it's a short ride, guys. It really is. You know, there's going to be a point in your life where there's less runway ahead than what there is behind, if that makes sense. You know, there's going to be less ahead and more behind you. But man, I just want to speak about, you know, life it's both, bro, right? Life is a beautiful thing and it's a cruel thing at the same time. It's both. And recently, man, you know, with YouTube algorithm, it can be weird. You can get suggested some videos that you think, why is YouTube recommending me this video? What is going on? And man, I came across a video that was just heartbreaking, man, just heartbreaking, honestly, guys. Let's spark back up. And you know, man, I'm not trying to create the smoke break to be an emotional vibe. I'm not trying to do that. But I am trying to create awareness on life is a short ride, bro. It's a short ride. And if you know it's a short ride, you have to love everyone around you. Everyone and everything. You have to love it, man. And just to go into a little bit more detail on the video that I watched. And man, after I watched the video, I had to watch a lot of this series. Even though it was heartbreaking, I had to watch it, man. So basically, guys, I came across, well, I didn't come across, YouTube recommended this video to me. And the title of the video was, Cancer Has Won. And man, I clicked on the video and this guy is healthy, man. He's a 32-year-old man. Healthy, you know, just looks fine, looks great even. You know, he looked great. And yeah, man, it's a heartbreaking thing. So after I see this video and you can see he's, you know, explaining that cancer is winning. And you go back and you check his first video, you check his second video, and you start to watch his journey, man, battling cancer. And it's, man, like I said, man, life is, Mike Tyson once said, guys, you cannot have the good without the bad. Otherwise, it would not be life. And we speak sometimes about overcoming adversities and all of that, man. Honestly, guys, this man, his name was Dan. His name was Dan. And although this man had terminal cancer, he documented his journey and the positivity this man had every day. The happiness this man brought, even though he was battling this. And you see the happiness, man, that he tries to bring in every single moment that he's on camera. Even when he's, you know, it's been a bad day and he's been throwing up, man, and it's not good, man. And he's still, bro, he's still trying to create happiness in his life and the people around him. And it's just admirable, man. The guy's a hero. What can I say? The guy is a hero. And it makes you realize even more, man. You don't know what tomorrow brings, man. You don't know. And you just have to love everyone around you and everything around you, man, because life is a short journey, bro. It's a short journey. And like I said at the start of the smoke break, man, I'm not trying to create like an emotional vibe. But I witnessed this documentation of a man who honestly deserves to still be here, you know, just a heroic person. And his motto was, never give in, never give up. And man, just, yeah, if you guys want to know the YouTube channel of what I'm talking about, I'll leave it in the comment section. But man, be prepared for it to break you, man, because it broke me. It broke me. And I just want to bring awareness, man. Life is short, guys. It's a short ride, man. But yeah, shout out to Dan on the other side, man, creating greatness. And shout out to his parents, his family, and the wife. Yeah. My bad on creating an emotional smoke break, guys. But that's the message, man. You don't know what tomorrow brings, man. So just love those people around you, G. Love those people. Alright, guys. Let's get into breaking down this main card. And by the way, guys, I'm going to take a bong rip on this one. Someone recommended that in the comments, so yeah, let's go, guys. Let's go. All right, guys, we've got Buckley taking on Antonio Arroyo. Now, guys, I'm going to be completely honest, man. The intelligent part of my brain, I don't know what that's called, but the intelligent part of my brain is saying to me, A, Antonio Arroyo is a one-round fighter. His cardio isn't great. He isn't knocking people out with his hands. His jiu-jitsu isn't the best either. The intelligent part of my brain is like, don't even consider picking Antonio Arroyo. Don't do it. But there's one part of my brain, and I don't even know which part this is. It's not the intelligent part of my brain. But there's one part of my brain that's like, Buckley got kicked in the head. Arroyo wants to kick you. Put 2 and 2 together, maybe it could happen. It might happen. There is 100% a world where Antonio Arroyo does finish Buckley with a body kick or a head kick. But the flip side is the other worlds are going to have Buckley winning this one by basically surviving round 1. Basically showing us that Arroyo isn't cut out for the UFC. But you kind of have to, you know, pick your poison. Do you want to listen to the intelligent part of your brain, or do you want to take a little shot in the dark on Antonio Arroyo? Guys, I know the intelligent thing is probably to fade Arroyo, but I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to take a shot in the dark. That doesn't mean I'm betting him. I'm just going to predict he wins. I'm going to take Antonio Arroyo. Am I aware that I'm probably going to look silly on this prediction? Yeah. Antonio Arroyo has to manage his cardio a little bit better, or simply find that body kick or head kick finish. If it doesn't come in round one, yeah, Buckley may just win this one based on output. My prediction, guys, is going to be the complete shot in the dark. And I know it's not smart. It's not the smartest pick you're going to hear. But I'll take it. I'll take Antonio Arroyo. My numbers, I would still give Buckley the favourite. I'd put him around minus 170. But like I said, man, there is a world where Antonio Arroyo does finish this with some type of kick. Maybe now that Alessio Di Chirico kicked Buckley in the head, maybe Buckley's going to be more aware of what's coming. But yeah, I'm going for a shot in the dark on this one. Now the actual numbers, we've got Buckley minus 200, minus 220. Antonio Arroyo plus 180. I know some of you guys are going to be like, Lay, did you really pick Arroyo? Yeah, I really did. I really did, man. I'm not going to bet it though. There's no way. And I wouldn't really advise betting on Buckley, to be honest. Alright, moving into Christos Giagos taking on Arman Tsarukyan. So Christos is coming off a really nice win against Sean Soriano, which beautiful Darce choke, by the way. Arman Tsarukyan has lost in the UFC. He lost to Islam Makhachev. But other than losing to a potential future champion, Tsarukyan has looked pretty good himself. You know, he beat Olivier Orban-Mercia, Davy Ramos, Matt Frivola. Tsarukyan is, you know, he's representing Tiger Muay Thai. His wrestling, his submission game, the Muay Thai, the boxing, everything about Tsarukyan is high level. So yeah, man, I'm going to say this one is a mismatch. And Christos Giagos probably shouldn't be in there with Tsarukyan. I think the big question is, will Tsarukyan win inside the distance, or does Giagos go 15 minutes? That's potentially where you make money on this fight. If I had to predict it, I would say maybe Giagos can go 15 minutes. You know, against Sean Soriano in round one, you don't think he can. But then you look at round two, the way he comes back in round two, maybe he has enough at this point to not beat Tsarukyan, but to go 15 minutes. Yeah, my prediction, guys, I'm going to take Arman Tsarukyan, and my numbers, yeah, I'm going to be a little bit harsh. I'm going to go minus 400 on Tsarukyan. And the actual numbers, we've got Arman minus 700, which is, you know, it's insane, but it is a mismatch. If you're going to try to bet on Christos Giagos, in my opinion, you could go money line, but inside the distance is going to be even juicier. Is Christos Giagos going to beat Arman over 15 minutes? No, he's just not gonna. So if you're taking a long shot on Christos, make it an even further long shot. Take inside the distance. My prediction though, guys, I'm going to take the minus 700 to pass this one with flying colours. Alright guys, we've got Mandy Bohm taking on Ariana Lipski. Now my prediction has gone back and forth on this one. Originally I was taking Mandy, then I swapped to Lipski, then back to Mandy, back to Lipski. Man, it's a difficult one, bro. And that's really because when you look at Ariana Lipski's UFC career, it's back and forth, man. You know, she debuted against Joanne Calderwood. She got taught a lesson. Then she got taken down by Molly McCann. Her two wins have been against Brazilians. And then you go back to fighting Antonina Shevchenko, which she got ground and pounded bad. And then it happened again. You know, Montana De La Rosa getting a ground and pound stoppage. Her first TKO. So Lipski, man, you have to kind of admit that her ground game isn't improving. Even with the knee bar against Luana, it looks like it's improving. But the truth is she's basically lost all of her fights on the mat. You know, Joanne Calderwood, Molly McCann, Antonina, Montana. These are all girls who are choosing to exploit Ariana Lipski with the grappling. Now, Mandy Bohm isn't a grappler. She seems to be more of a striker. And that's why it's difficult to predict. Ariana Lipski has 20 pro fights. Mandy Bohm is undefeated but only has 7 pro fights. You know, maybe Ariana Lipski should be the one choosing to grapple. Because if she's striking with Mandy Bohm, she's basically giving Mandy what she wants in her UFC debut. You know, anytime someone's debuting in the UFC, you don't want them to really be in their fight. You don't want them to be comfortable. You want to make it as uncomfortable as it can be, right? And maybe the way for Lipski to do that is going to be the grappling. But maybe she has PTSD from grappling, you know? Like I said, guys, I've been going back and forth, man. Originally on Lipski and Mandy. I'm going to make my final prediction and I'm not going to change it. I'm going to take Mandy Bohm. I know that Lipski can win. She has the experience. She was known as the Queen of Violence, which kind of went away. I'm interested to see how this one plays out, but I'm going to take the German fighter. The fighter that's undefeated. And training at SBG Island, you know, which is a good camp. So I'm going to take Mandy Bohm to keep this one standing and to hand Ariana her 3rd loss in a row. My numbers, I keep them really close, man. I put both of these girls minus 110. You know I'm not great at predicting women's MMA, guys. I'm not great at it. And the actual numbers, we've got Mandy Bohm plus 100. Oh man, I might do it. I really might do it. I know I shouldn't because it's women's MMA and it's just not a fight you should bet on, but I really might. Lipsy coming back minus 120. Yeah, the line kind of resembles everything that I said with the breakdown. Lipski loses to grapplers. Mandy Bohm isn't a grappler. So what do you have here? What you have is potentially a kickboxing match, but maybe Lipski chooses to grapple. But why would you when it goes so badly every time? Nearly every time. It didn't with the knee bar, but it did every other time. Yeah, decent matchmaking, guys. I'm going to go with Mandy Bohm. Alright, guys, we've got Jim Miller taking on Nicholas Motta. And we're going to hit the glass on this one. Hey, guys, shout out to the person who recommended I take a rip the bowl halfway through the video or 3/4 of the way through. So this is going to be the first time that I say this. If you waited to hit the bowl with me, amen. If you've been hitting bowls throughout the whole video, double amen. If you don't rip the glass, but you're down with me ripping the glass, that's a triple amen. Let's go. Oh, this is gonna make me toasty, man. The bowl always hits you so much harder. Oh man, let's go. Oh no. Alright. The OG of the fight game, Jim Miller taking on Nicholas Motta. Guys, Jim Miller, man, he's been around for a long time. Let's take a look at how long Jim Miller's been around. Debuted in 2005. I was 10 years old. Oh man. Okay, Jim Miller can do it all. Seen it all, can do it all. He's mainly a jiu-jitsu guy. He wants to use his jiu-jitsu. Will he scrap with you on the feet? Yeah, he will, man. It's Jim Miller. But yeah, the way Jim Miller's going to win this one, he has to grapple. You know, he got an armbar against Roosevelt Roberts. got a choke against Clay Guida, choked out Jason Gonzalez, choked out Alex White. Jim Miller wants to exploit the jiu-jitsu of Nicholas Motta. Now the flip side is Jim Miller doesn't have good cardio and Nicholas Motta has pretty good hands. You know, you look at the way this guy's striking with the boxing. Yeah, I'm a fan. So it's one or the other. If Jim Miller can take down Nicholas Motta, then there could be a submission. But I do think you also have to consider Jim Miller slowing down outside of round one. You know, if he doesn't get that submission early, does he gas out and Nicholas Motta takes over with the boxing? Again, it's a difficult one, man, because Jim Miller has like 50 pro fights, which is crazy. And Nicholas Motta is early in his career, man. So this could be a learning lesson, or it could be you're making your name off of Jim Miller. Good matchup, guys, but I have to go with the fresher guy. I know Jim has the experience to do it, but man, I wouldn't want to lay money on it. You know, I'm more inclined into taking Nicholas Motta with the boxing. Potentially a TKO. My numbers, I'm going to put Nicholas Motta minus 140. And I'll put Jim Miller plus 110. And we've got Nicholas Motta plus 100. Just like Mandy Bohm. I may have to do it. Man. I'm sorry, Jim. I ripped the bowl for you though, bro. Alright, my homies. Co-main event, we've got Cutelaba taking on Devin Clark. Now, I'm kind of confident on my prediction. And it's kind of worrying for this one. Because the guy that I'm confident in, I'm never confident in. You know? So yeah, Cutelaba has a wrestling background. And he has this aggressive, I'm going to knock you out style. Now that aggressive, I'm going to knock you out style is usually pretty dangerous in round one. But outside of round one, it kind of diminishes, you know? Cutelaba has always been most dangerous in round one. If you can get out of round one, yeah, it's your fight to win. You know, you look at the fight against Dustin Jacoby. Cutelaba 10-8 in round one. But you see round two, round three. These rounds are much better rounds for Dustin Jacoby. Same with Glover Teixeira. You know, the round one, it wasn't great for Glover. But then you get to round two, it's much better for Glover. And that's just the way that Cutelaba operates, you know. He's a round one guy. So the job for Devin Clark has to be, I'm looking to make it to round two. Now, Devin Clark is a pretty good wrestler. He will throw down. But if you choose to throw down with Cutelaba, you're asking to get knocked out, you know, especially if you're Devin Clark. And what I mean by that is Devin Clark is a wrestler. He's not a knockout artist. He's not a high-level boxer. He's not a high-level Muay Thai practitioner. Devin Clark takes you down and he holds you on the mat. Is he going to do that to Cutelaba? Not in round one. So yeah, the key for Devin Clark here has to be get out of round one. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen. My prediction, guys, is going to be Cutelaba spins the jaw of Devin Clark in round one. My numbers, I'd go minus 170 on Cutelaba. And the actual numbers, we've got Cutelaba minus 130, minus 140. Devin Clark plus 120. So yeah, the odds could be a little bit higher, I think, on Cutelaba. But like I said, round one or bust, pretty much. Is it going to be the case against Devin Clark? Maybe it could be. But I do believe Cutelaba has some nasty success in round one. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction on that one. Alright, my homies, main event. If you haven't Hamzat smashed the like button yet, please go ahead and do that. Guys, I'm going to rip the glass again and I'll tell you why after. Alright? Amen, by the way. Amen. Oh, man. Alright, guys, so with the main events, man, this one's Anthony Smith taking on Ryan Spann. Now, I've gotten the last three main events wrong. It all started with KG. Now, my KG streak was like a 4-year streak. The last loss I had with KG was Chris Weidman. I took him to beat Cannonier, he lost. And then I picked Barboza to win, which I had never picked against Giga Chikadze, but I did, and it was wrong. And then I picked against Blonde Brunson again, and it was wrong. So, my main event predictions have been, you know, pretty bad. They haven't been spot on. They've been the complete opposite of spot on. Bad. So if there was one thing that I would like with this full card predictions, I would like to get the main event right, to be honest. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. I'm just going to look at the logic, try to get this one, man. We've got Anthony Smith taking on Ryan Spann. Now, Anthony Smith is, you know, he's basically like a Diaz. You know, he's going to take everything that you've got to offer. And 9 times out of 10, he's able to absorb all of it. There was only 2 times that Anthony Smith has been stopped inside the UFC. The first time it was against the explosive Brazilian Thiago Santos. And the second time it was against the veteran Brazilian Glover Teixeira, which was a slow beatdown round by round. And Glover Teixeira will do that to you, man. He's a veteran. But Anthony Smith is the true definition of a Lionheart. You know, he can take everything that you've got. He's got output for days. There's no quit in Anthony Smith. The opponent, Ryan Spann. This guy's been pretty nasty inside the UFC. You know, he slept Nogueira. He choked out Devin Clark. He had a close fight, to be honest, with Sam Alvey. Man, after round 1, you could see he was a little more fatigued. He did clip Johnny Walker, but Johnny Walker, he got him back with a good one. You know, I took Johnny Walker that night and yeah, that was crazy. Man, he sent Misha flying with that right hand. He literally sent him flying. And then later on, he basically folded him like a deck chair with the left hand. Man, Ryan Spann really shows that he can dead you with both hands. Just in that fight. You know, he sent him flying with the right and then he folded him with the left. Now, if you said to me, can Ryan Spann TKO Anthony Smith? We know Anthony is just tough as nails. Can he TKO Anthony? As much as I want to say, man, Anthony is just too tough to be finished by Ryan Spann, the answer is yes. Ryan Spann can sleep Anthony Smith. But we also have to ask ourselves, man, can Anthony take this fight into round 2, round 3, potentially drown Ryan Spann? Can Anthony Smith show him, look, I've been here longer and this isn't a 3-round fight. It's not a 1-round fight. It's a 5-round fight. The answer to that question too is yes. Anthony Smith could definitely do that to Ryan Spann. I'm going to predict that Anthony Smith is the winner. If he avoids round 1, if he avoids that power that Ryan Spann is going to try to connect with, potentially clinch, you know, push him against the fence, look for takedowns. Similar to what Sam Alvey did with the clinching, you know. If Lionheart can do that, I see him just fatiguing Ryan Spann and taking the win, whether it's a submission or even like a late TKO. My prediction is going to be Anthony Lionheart Smith. And I really hope I can get this one, man. My numbers, I'm going to put Anthony -180, -180, -190. I'd put him around that -200 range. The same type of range that I put Darren Till. Oh man, right. The actual numbers, we've got Anthony Smith -160 up to -180. Yeah, I think it's in the ballpark. Ryan Spann coming back +140. Maybe look at a TKO prop on Ryan Spann. You know, you look at the right hand against Misha, you look at the left hand, and it's 2 different results. The right hand sends you flying, you know, the one right down the barrel, and then you've got the hook. The hooking overhand, that's the deck chair fold. Yeah, Ryan Spann's a pretty lethal puncher, man. But I'm going to take the veteran, Anthony Smith. Alright, my homies, leave down your parlays, your doubles, your singles, all of that good stuff. And guys, as always, keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Mac Miller, All right. Peace.